Welcome to episode 149 of the Daily Shed. Today I'm going to show you multiple pull-offs. This is a very useful technique, a little bit more advanced, but very, very useful. And possibly the most common double pull-off that I'm doing, and by double pull-off I mean you're pulling off more than one note at a time, is this in G. This is used all the time by people like Paul Simon, James Taylor. Very nice way to kind of spice up a G chord if you have a G, just a regular G. This probably sounds familiar to you. Like that. And what you're doing, you're basically temporarily putting a C over the G. The other way to look at it is that you're actually making a suspended chord and also a sixth, like that, and then resolving to the G. The nice thing about it, you can pull it off. So what I'm doing is I have my my ring finger on the 3rd fret on the low E string, and then 2nd fret of the D string. I've got my middle finger, and 1st fret of the B string. So try that chord, and then I'm pulling off my middle finger and an index finger. Should be right at the same time, and make sure it's a very strong pull off. You can also hammer on. Which takes some strength, but you can also just pull it off with a pick and then pulling off. Another way to use these multiple string pull-offs, I'll stay in the key of G. Like if you're playing this G, which is really just the top 4 notes of a bar chord, a G bar chord, like this. There's a lot of things you can do with it. You can make it suspended just by adding this one note on the 5th fret of the G string. You can also do the same thing we just did, where we're suspending and adding a 6th to it. And it takes a bit of strength. What I'm doing is on the 5th fret, the C and the B string, or the G and the B string, and pulling off while I have the root going here on the 5th string. You can also do it without a root. Just on the G and B strings and pulling off. You can also do this. You can also pull off 3 strings. Which is just a cool thing to do if you're playing a G chord. Those 3, just the 5th fret on the G, B, and E strings, and pulling off to the regular G bar chord on the top 3 strings, like that. And there's all kinds of different ways you can use this with other chords as well. This is just sort of an introduction to it in G, but I hope you find it useful, especially this one. I think you'll find you use very often. So I hope it's useful to you. As always, thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.